All right. So when we're writing SQL queries, we need a way to test whether our queries are correct or not. And so we need to write something, run it, and compare it to our expected output, and fix it if it's incorrect. And we continue this process until our code runs correctly. So I made a tool called postgresSetupTeardown that automates this on the command line. Um, And so basically what it does is it's automating database setup, creating tables, loading data from the CSV, querying the tables, and then tearing down the database at the end. So let me just run through an example of how you could use this to check your work. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this repository here. And the goal for this repository is we're going to try and extract out the SQL logic so that we can go ahead and test it to make sure that it's running correctly. So we can see that there's a SQL.SQL file. We're going to go ahead and use that and pull the SQL logic out of it. Get PG scripts. This just pulls this package into this repository. We're going to move SQL into that file, and we're gonna move into this tool that I've made. And so if you look at the run file, the way I've set it up, I'm splitting up table creation from query logic. So I need to split one SQL file into these two files here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, so I'm going to call the table creation, and we want to grab all table creation logic. So that looks like up to here. We'll put that there, save that, and then we're going to save this. We're just going to call it query.sql so it's easy to know what we're looking at. All right. Going to go ahead and update these files to reflect our new files. Called that table creation. Called the other one, what do we call the other one? We called it query.sql. Query.sql. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run this and take a look at the output. Okay. PWC. I'm just going to open up another window here. Okay, let's look at the output. Okay, so we were able to refresh the database, and then we went to create the tables, and we run into an error. So now we can go ahead and fix that by, let's see here. So it's telling us the error is in table creation on line 9. So let's open up table creation, look for line 9, and then figure out where's the error. So I'm seeing there's no, you're missing a comma here. So let's see how that affects things. Let's go ahead and run again. We'll update this. Okay, we're able to squash that bug. Okay, on to the next bug. Okay, so line 24. Here we go. Okay, so I'm seeing there's an extra comma there. All right, let's see how it goes here. And so there's this process. So we update our code, we run it again, we check the errors, and we continue resolving these error messages until we no longer get any errors. So that's the cycle we're running through here. So let's run that. Let's check this again. Okay, so now we're going to line 32. Okay, there's no comma here, and there's an extra one here. So I'm getting rid of those, and I'm running again. Let's recheck. Okay, so line 32, it's telling us problem with foreign keys. Okay, emp number and emp number are incompatible types, character varying and integer. Right, so we need types to be the same. So it's saying that in, interesting. So in title, emp number is a varchar. And then in employees, emp number is an int. Okay, so we need those to be the same. So I'm just gonna make this an int. And let's see what that does. Let's check. Okay, so that fixed that one. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next one. So it looks like, okay, there's another comma missing. There's an extra comma there. We're gonna save that and we're gonna run it again. This is the process. We just run through. Okay, let's check. Okay, so we've created the table successfully. And we can see, nice. We've got all 6 required tables. Let's keep going. Okay, so we got another error here. Okay, so this error is we have to make sure that the table names are lining up here. Okay. Dept-emp. Okay, so this is supposed to be DEPT. What else? Manager. Okay, looks good. Title. Titles. It's supposed to be titles. Titles. Actually, you know what? This is wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna change. So rather than, all right, let's close that and let's open it back up. Let's see where we're at. Just check where we're at. Start this little run around again. Okay, so here's the error we're gonna start with. Okay. And rather than change the SQL code, I'm gonna change the tool to work around the SQL code. Okay, vim source. Okay. So dept-emp we're gonna change to reflect that. Dept-emp. Okay. What else? Dept-emp. There's a problem there. Where else is there a problem? Salaries. Titles. It's called title, so we're going to update that. Title. Okay, and let's run this and see what happens. So we updated the table names in our tool. It's going to recheck. Okay, interesting. So still having some issues here. All right, extra data after last expected column. So what that tells me is employees, maybe employees doesn't have enough columns as it needs. And we can open up the CSV and see what that looks like. Vim data, employees. Okay, so emp number, birth date, first name, last name, gender. Okay, so you're missing gender here. Hire date. So the CSV has an extra column. So M, F, MF, and we don't have it here. So we need to add gender. Add gender. Okay. Okay. So what's this error? Consider update on table dept-emp violates foreign key constraint. I'm not so sure about that one. Copy dep manager. Dep number. So department number. So the question is, what type should department number be? Vim. Let's take a look at the data. Dep manager. Department number. It's like a varchar because it's letters and numbers. Let's see what happens if we do varchar. Let's run it again. Let's check the output. This is the error with gender. Foreign key constraint, not sure about that. Insert or update on table size violates foreign key constraint. I'm not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. Okay, so anyway, wait, let's see. In order to make sure our code is running correctly, we have to run it multiple times against the database to make sure that we're getting the expected results. And so obviously here we aren't. And this tool allows you to figure that out quickly. So that's all for this video. If you'd like to check out the tool, I'll leave a link in the video, in the info down below. So it's here. It describes what this is, why like the motivation for this, what tech stack used, and it gives some brief instructions for reproducing this type of work. Alright guys, have a good night.